Hello, and welcome to episode 176 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. My channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'm reviewing a favorite of mine, Yair Kung Fu. Yair Kung Fu was released in 1985 by Konami. My first time playing this game is at Funtime Square Arcade in hometown Illinois. Yair Kung Fu is a fighting theme game in which you control a character named Oolong with an 8-way joystick and 2 buttons, one to punch and one to kick. You need to fight through a series of different opponents, each with a different fighting style. The game begins with a screen with the first 5 opponents on it. These opponents are Bushu, Star, Nuncha, Pole, and Fetal, although only the first 3 opponents are shown and the other 2 are behind a screen with a large question mark on it. Each character will have a health meter of 8 units. Successfully hitting an opponent will result in a red sun-shaped icon to appear at the point of hit, and their health meter will decrease 1 unit. If an opponent hits your character, a black icon will appear and you will lose 1 unit of health. Hitting your opponent 8 times will knock them out and you will receive a bonus for your remaining health and you will advance to the next opponent. If your opponent hits you 8 times, you will lose a life and you will replay the match if you have any remaining lives. There is no time limit for these matches, so it is advantageous to take your time and move around the playfield to strategically strike your opponents. Moving the joystick left or right will move your character in those directions. Moving the joystick up will cause your character to jump, and moving the joystick up left or up right will cause your character to jump diagonally. Pushing the joystick down or down left or down right will cause your character to crouch. Your character will have 16 different offensive attacks. Pressing the joystick in any one of the 8 directions, as well as pressing a punch or kick button, will cause your character to do a different attack. The first character you will face will be Bushu. Bushu is a sumo wrestler who is strong although slow. He will mainly do headbutt leaps toward your character as well as some kicks and punches. Defeating Bushu will move you to the second character named Star. Star is a female opponent and named after her method of attack, which is the throwing star. She will throw a series of stars toward your character that must be avoided at all costs because if one contacts your character, you will lose 1 unit of health. Other than the throwing stars, Star limits her moves to moving as well as ground attacks. Defeating Star will bring you to the next opponent, who is Nuncha. Nuncha is also named for his weapon of choice, which is the nunchucks. This weapon makes it a little more difficult for close quarter fighting, so it is best to strike then move away. Defeating Nuncha brings you to the next character named Pole. Just like his name suggests, Pole uses a bow staff for his weapon. Similar to Nuncha, close quarter fighting is difficult, so it is best to use a hit and move offense. The next opponent is named Fetal. Fetal is a unique opponent and is actually a team of identical looking opponents. These opponents will approach from either side of the playfield. Once they enter the playfield, they will continue to move from one side to the other in an attempt to hit your character. Each Fetal will only require 1 hit to knock them off screen. Once you successfully defeat 8 Fetal, the remaining Fetal on screen will walk off the screen and you will advance to the next opponent. The next opponent is named Chain. He uses a long chain to attack you from a distance. This chain must also be avoided, and it is best to do a jump kick to this opponent while the chain has been thrown at a low level. The next opponent is named Club, and his weapon of choice is a large spiked club. Although this is a short-range weapon, his biggest strength is his shield. He uses the shield to block your offensive shots, and if you hit the shield, a white sun-shaped icon will be displayed and you will not receive credit for a hit. The next opponent is named Fan. This is the second female opponent, and similarly to Star, she will throw fans toward your character. Unlike the throwing stars, the fans will move upward and loop before returning to character level. Fan can only have 3 fans on screen at a time, so once she throws the 3rd fan, it is the safest time to attack her. Due to her wearing a red dress, the sun-shaped icon for a successful hit will be yellow for this match. The next opponent is Sword, and he will use a long sword as his weapon. This weapon is longer than most opponents, although not as long as the chain. This is a quick opponent, and you need to strike him before he strikes you. The next opponent is Tanfun, and his weapons are a pair of wooden batons. The reach of these weapons isn't far, although he has 2, making it easier for him to attack you. Your final opponent is named Blues. This is the ultimate opponent and is unequal to your character. Unlike other opponents, it is possible to go blow for blow with him, although due to his high speed, it is unwise to do so. Defeating Blues will bring you back to Bushu, and the game will continue to loop around. Scoring for the game is as follows. You'll earn 500 points for a flying high punch, mid-level punch, and mid-level kick, 600 points for a flying high kick, 900 points for a crouching mid-level punch, and 2,000 points for a jumping high punch and jumping high kick. For winning each match, you will earn 2,400 points for each unit of health, and a bonus if you win the match without getting hit by your opponent. This bonus is based on which opponent you defeat. You'll earn 10,000 points for Bushu, 20,000 points for Star, 30,000 points for Nuncha, 40,000 points for Pole, 50,000 points for Feudal, 60,000 points for Chain, 70,000 points for Club, 80,000 points for Fan, 90,000 points for Sword, and 100,000 points for Tanfun and Blues. I really enjoyed playing this game and recommend playing it whether in an arcade setting or on an emulator. I like this game more than Turbo, but not as much as Galaga, so Yair Kung Fu fights its way into the 45th position overall. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Sunday.